morning in Manila.
Muna siya guys, ang gitabangan na mo guys kay nagkalisod
Your
siya.
name is
Teacher siya sa
Yes.
Is that backwards or?
That's backwards.
Yeah.
That is
Koreans,
Mary
yung mga
Grace.
estudyante.
Mary Grace, and then I rumble it.
So gitabangan naman siya kay nagipit siya, wala na. So kailangan na muli sa ilaha kay continuous classes. So kung may buhat dito sa Pilipinas nga, so kailangan nga muli sa ilahang sa
My last name is GECA. That is
England.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, so we can get message me.
I will. Yeah.
Gusto mo ka saging cherry?
Nga man, lainan siya.
We don't like banana. Kaya mura mo doon.
Oh, Sam and Ben. Oh,
I will buy you things.
How old are you now, sir?
Foods like
all right.
alcohol.
Oh, that'll be nice.
Pila edad niya ate?
How old do you think I am? What do you think? Don't be shy. Be
I
honest.
think it's 50 plus.
50 plus. Oh, I think me and you are going to be good friends.
Start our lesson. Okay.
I'll tell you the truth, right? 63.
63.
And I became a father again at the age of 61 and 63. I'm very shocked. I shocked myself. So what I'm saying is I have a daughter who was born on the 18th of May, which I haven't, 2 months ago, right, which I have not seen. And I have a daughter who is 2 years, 1 month, who I have not seen for 6 months.
Yeah.
Nearly 7 months, actually. They left here, my wife and daughter, the first one obviously, they left here nearly 7 months ago, so I haven't seen them in 6 months. So, because of this virus,
Yes.
I can't travel. My daughter's living on a farm in the mountains, and she's not allowed to go to the nearest big town, which is a place called ISULAN, which is in South Cotabato. She's not allowed to go there.
ISULAN COTABATO te.
She's allowed to go to a very, very, very small town / village. She can go there for like her inoculations, like babies have, right? But it's not even a town, it's like a village, right? But Sulan, she's not allowed to go there. And I don't think I can go there either, so I don't know when I'm going to see them next. Could be another year away. So I'm saying to everyone, it's causing a lot of problems, this virus.
Yeah.
I know it's
So
causing problems for a lot of people. I'm not only complaining about myself, for everyone, right? But especially me, when you can't see your family and a newborn baby as well. So yeah.
Yeah, you feel missing.
I'm surprised myself that I've become a father at my age.
At 63.
Well, my parents are still alive and they're 85, so there is longevity in my family.
Are you older?
My parents are 85.
Oh.
So there is longevity in my family. There is the word longevity, right? I mean, yeah, long time, longevity, right?
What is GVT?
Well, it means a long life.
Okay.
I mean, if you die at the age of 30 of cancer, that is not longevity. You die premature, right? Too early,
Yes.
right? Like a premature birth. The baby is too early, right? So longevity would be the opposite of premature, talking about life, right? So yeah, 85 is okay. It's not too young, is it? So yeah, I'm hoping I can get into my 80s, so at least I will see my 2 daughters get to their teenage years. Who knows? Could die tomorrow.
So both of you, sir, is vegetarian.
Vegetarian? No, I'm not. Well, no, I'm not a vegetarian. I was a vegetarian when I lived in Japan for 3 years. That was mostly because meat in Japan is so expensive, right? So I just stopped eating it. And I must say, I did feel more healthy. And I saved money also. But when I left Japan and I went to Thailand I was working in Thailand, and the food is much cheaper, I started eating meat again. But eating meat is not necessarily making you unhealthy. Eating too much red meat, they say, is unhealthy for you. The white meat is more healthy. So chicken is probably the most healthy meat you can eat.
Chicken meat.
Yeah. Or even pork is quite is a white meat also. So if you like pork, it's probably seen as healthy from like a physical way of looking at it.
Yeah.
If you look at it from like a mental or psych view, like me, like the animal's dirty, then you don't want to eat it, right? But from physically, pork is a white meat and it's considered healthy, like chicken. Whereas beef, red meat, not so healthy. Lamb, like baby sheep, right?
Yeah.
It's nice, very sarat taste, but if you eat a lot, yes, it's considered not healthy. And then you got dog, well, it's just disgusting.
Yeah.
Don't eat dog under any circumstances.
Yeah, it's bawal here.
Well, some people eat it. I've seen some people eating it, not just in the countryside, in the city also. I've seen it in Batangas.
Yeah. So maybe also in China?
I've lived in China and worked. I've seen people eat it there. I've lived and worked in Korea. I've seen people eat it there. Japan, no. Philippines, yes. Thailand, yes. Korea, I said Korea. Cambodia, yes. Vietnam, yes.
So
there's quite a lot of countries where people are still eating it, but I think it's more uneducated people in the countryside, right? People in the city who have a good job, more education, would probably not eat dog, right? Although a good friend of mine in Cambodia, he said he was eating it because he was in the army, right? And they were living in the jungle, fighting against the government. And he said any salary that he had, he sent to his wife and children in the town, and he in the jungle ate anything they could get their hands on, right? Which was usually snakes, crocodiles, or dogs. So they just ate what they could find. He said he wouldn't eat it now, but he said at the time when he was a soldier, when you're hungry, you will eat virtually anything.
Exactly.
So yeah. And people are going hungry now, right? I know for
Most
a fact.
especially of this pandemic.
Yeah, it's not so much here. You go in the shopping malls, right? You see people eating on a Monday lunchtime. So I don't think it's so bad here, but Manila, where you got a lot of poor people there, a lot more people there
Yeah,
than
most
here.
especially in
People are going
in Tondo,
without food.
in Tondo, Manila.
Yeah, Tondo,
Yeah.
I know Tondo. I know that area. Blumentritt, Tondo. There was a place called Smoky Mountain, right? Yeah. I mean, I was talking with this Lola a couple of days ago, right? But spoke good English. Good. She's well educated, right? What she said was very, very true. More people are dying of malnutrition than they are from this virus. And I agree with her. It's correct. She is.
So now,
Not she is.
so-
People are, I mean.
so now, sir, here, sir, is what can you say about the Filipino here in the Philippines, sir?
Well, I don't like the government. I don't like the government here.
You don't like the
No, he's an
government here?
asshole. I was telling the lady last night, the daughter. I think he's an asshole, Duterte. Yeah, Duterte.
Duterte,
I
yes.
don't like him.
So about the issue, sir, the ABS-CBN
Yeah, exactly.
channel 2, what can you say about
Well,
the...
he's banned it, but it's disgusting. It's disgraceful.
Yes, sir, exactly.
Anybody who says anything against him, he just arrests you, puts you in prison.
Yeah.
You gotta, in a democracy, you gotta have free speech. If you don't like the government, fine. The government has to accept it, not just arrest someone. It's getting like China here, where anything against the government, they just put you in prison, and it should not be that way in a democracy. The guy's
Yes,
an
exactly,
asshole.
sir. So they don't give chance to ABS-CBN about their franchise.
Yeah.
So
That's the most popular program on the TV, isn't it? Or the most popular sort of magazine news program.
yes, sir.
How can you stop? It's just crazy.
Yeah. More people lose their jobs. It's all about 11,000 employees of ABS-CBN lose their jobs right now.
They're
Okay. Okay, you cannot answer it, so let me have.
I was saying last night, right?
Okay, Jack. Spell it for me.
What did I say?
Fix. Spell fix for me.
So
This lockdown here, right? All right. I mean, most countries, there's like 200 countries in the world, right? About 200, right? Countries.
yes, sir.
Most countries have had some sort of lockdown, right? To quarantine their population, depending on the size of the country, the population of the country, and how bad it is, right? So circumstances are different between different countries, right? Philippines, which is an average-sized country, right? It's not as big as America or Russia or China, but it's not a small country either, right? It's over 100 million people. I would probably be near 200 million people. They don't know, right? So it's a medium-sized to big country, the Philippines, right? It's certainly not a small country. Anyway, the Philippines has the longest lockdown and the most strictest lockdown
Yes.
in the world. No other country. Now, I'm quoting you from newspapers from overseas, right? Because the newspapers are basically telling you nothing. You got to look at newspapers from overseas, like the New York Times or the Times of London, Spanish newspapers, right? And why has this guy got the army on the streets?
Yeah, that's the question.
They should not
This
be.
question.
The police should be on the streets, yeah, to help people, because people need help, and the police should be there to help you. He's got the army on the streets threatening people, harassing people, just they're going
Yes.
out trying to sell some fruit to feed their, something like that, or clothes, mobile market, right? Just to feed their children. But he's harassing them with soldiers, shooting them in some cases. They haven't got a face mask on. It's fucking ridiculous, So, even before this pandemic started, he said in the newspapers here, and you can believe this bit, he likes lockdowns. He likes the army on the street. He likes scaring people and harassing people. Then they listen to him and they're easier to control. Because this is what this is all about. It's about control. Not just in the Philippines, everywhere. If the government has got the population of people inside of their house or inside of a big hotel, they can't go outside, they can't protest, they can't cause trouble.
Yes.
So the population are easy to control. That's what government, especially this guy here. He likes the army on the streets. He's Marcos number 2. That's what he thinks. That's who he thinks he is. He says, "I'm going to be Marcos number 2. I'm going to have martial law here, whether the Filipinos like it or not." Now, the average people who voted this guy into power were quite poor people, right? Like tricycle drivers and itinerants, people like that, right? The richer people, people with an education, are trying to get this guy out. They want him out, right? Because they can see he's murdering people, young people in Manila, because they're selling a bit of drugs on the streets. These people should be arrested, okay, and punished, yeah, but they shouldn't be shot dead. They should be educated, Not shot dead because they're dealing in drugs. They should be helped and educated. But he's just shooting them dead. He's murdering them. So, he's an asshole. No doubt about it.
Another question, sir, is how many months you've been here in the Philippines, sir?
How many what, sorry?
How many months or year?
Me? Nearly 5 years this time.
5
Nearly
years.
5 years, yeah. When I said the first time I come here 28 years ago, most of the time I've come here, I've been here many, many times, right? But most of the times I come here, I was living in Hong Kong, right? So, when I first come here, say 25 years ago or something, Philippines was quite a cheap place, right? So Hong Kong, you get a good salary, right? When under British administration,
Yeah.
you get a good salary. So, but it's also very expensive, right? So instead of taking a holiday in Hong Kong, me and my friends would come to the Philippines, right? Where it's a lot cheaper. Now, all these years later, Philippines is not cheap. It's not a cheap place anymore, Philippines. It's quite expensive now. especially if you're from England or America, where the dollar in America and the sterling in England has gone right down against the peso. Peso's got very stronger over the years. I'm not sure why, but it has. So, in my opinion, the Philippines is not very much cheaper anymore. So, most of the times I come here on holiday, but there has been 3 occasions where I've lived here for like 2 or 3 years and gone back to Hong Kong, right?
Yes.
So, yeah, I do have a long association with this place, you know. I'm not just talking a load of bullshit about nothing. I know this country well. And in my opinion, this guy is the worst president in a long time, since I've been coming here. People here need to kick him out.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you something else, right? Now, this is very, very, very unusual. For this to happen, it's very, very unusual. In Europe, in a place called The Hague, which is a city in Holland, right? Or the Netherlands, same country, Holland, Netherlands, right? It's a country between France and Belgium. It's not far from England, right? So it's in Europe, right? There is the World Court, right? Now, if you're naughty or bad in a country, right, then the government of that country would deal with you, right? So if you do something bad here, you go to court in the Philippines. If I do something bad here, I go to court, right? You wouldn't go to an international court, right? But if people in power do something bad, like kings, queens, princes, princesses, presidentes, or the number one minister of a government, right? In England, it's called the Prime Minister, right? He's like not a president, but the similar power, right? The leader of the government. If they do bad things, like not stealing money like Era Estrada was doing 20 years ago, but more stronger than that, like murder, killing people in his own country, then this World Court cannot arrest you in your own country. They have to wait till you go overseas, right, and go into a country which has signed this agreement. And most of the 200 countries in the world have signed this agreement, right, that if one of these bad people, man or woman, regardless of the country, even if it's the American president, right, they've signed this agreement that if that person goes to their country, they will hold them or arrest them. Then the World Court will arrest them again and take them to The Hague in Europe. Now, the last time I read the newspaper, the London Times, about a month ago, right? So this was what I was reading a month ago. It might well have changed now, I don't know, because I haven't seen the newspaper now, right? But this is a month ago. A month ago it was saying that they were thinking of, not 100% certain, but probably arresting Duterte if he leaves the Philippines. So if Duterte goes on an overseas trip, like goes to China to ask them for more money, or goes to Japan, or whatever, like he does, or goes to anywhere, Singapore, Hong Kong, anywhere, and they'll arrest him and take him. That's what they were thinking about. I'm not sure if it's happened, but for the World Court to think about that, it's got to be very fucking serious. And they don't do it lightly, right? It's not like stealing some money. It's got to be murder involved, or lots of people. And there has been thousands of people murdered by his administration in Manila, especially.
Yeah.
So I think you won't see Duterte going overseas representing the Philippines many more times now. I think he's too scared to go, because he is aware of this. You know, he will have knowledge that if he goes overseas, there's a chance he could get arrested. Right? He will know this. So I don't think you'll see him go overseas too many more times, unless the World Court has dropped this thinking, right? That's how serious this guy. He's upset a lot of people.
Yeah.
He upset the Americans by telling the Americans, we don't want your soldiers here, or your Navy here, and then they've been in the Philippines, protecting the Philippines a long time, right? Then he goes to China, says, well, we prefer to do business with you and not the Americans, right?
Yes.
Now he's turned around his attitude. He wants the Americans to come back, because the Chinese have upset Duterte because of these arguments about these islands in the South China Sea, right? You've got all these different countries saying, oh, these islands are ours, right? Philippines are saying, that's ours. China saying, no, these are ours. Vietnam saying, no, they're ours. Taiwan saying, no, they're ours. There's several groups of islands, right? And some of them are very near the Philippines. Should be Philippines islands, right? But China just decided to take them because they got a big, their navy's getting very powerful, right? So now he decided to drop China. Now he wants the Americans to come back. But he's already made the Americans angry already.
So you're from, sir?
England.
England. Okay. Say hi first, sir, to my vlog.
Say what?
Maka Chuchut.
Maka Chuchut?
Maka Chuchut.
What's that?
My YouTube channel.
Oh, your YouTube channel?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
you
my
have a
YouTube.
YouTube channel. Are you streaming now?
Yes, this
Good
is
morning to Yakachuchu.
Maka Chuchut.
Oh, sorry, Makachuchu.
Say, sir, please subscribe to Maka Chuchut channel.
Okay. If you enjoyed this channel, can you please subscribe to Makachuchu channel?
Maka Chuchut channel.
Makachuchu channel here in the Philippines.
Yes, sir, exactly. Thank you for
What does that mean in English? Is there an English word for it?
it's a combination word.
Oh, combination word.
Yeah.
Right.
So thank you for letting me interviewed.
So what sort of content do you put on your channel? Anything and everything, or something in
Anything.
particular?
Yeah, anything.
Anything.
Everything.
I like YouTube. I think that's my favourite app. YouTube. I think it's my favourite app. YouTube. Is the person who invented it. Not only they must have a lot of talent. They must be very clever, right? But they must have one hell of a lot of money. Whoever invented YouTube,
Yes, sir.
along with Google and Facebook, right?
Do you have YouTube channel, sir?
I do not. I use it every day, YouTube, but I don't have my own channel now. I'm too old. If I was your age, yeah, I would spend more time up making videos and uploading them, but no, I just use it mostly for watching movies and things like that, you know.
Yeah. So thank you, sir, for
You're most
letting
welcome.
me. That's all.